What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today I kind of want to revisit something that was pretty actually serious maybe at the beginning of the year or the end of last year, but I don't think it's as serious right now. And of course what I'm talking about is the fabled Snap meta. The Snap meta, yes. So I'm just going to pick a couple of probably the worst offenders from last season real quick. So, as far as the Snap meta, the reason why people have problems with this is definitely something about the game. We should talk about Snap in general versus like knocking down first. So, of course, what people really don't like about Snap is a couple of main things. One, it definitely disproportionately affects tall characters. Out of these characters I picked, I actually didn't pick one of the traditional tall characters, but Piccolo is actually affected by Snap. Most characters who have downward jabs, like Gohan here. Can I just for my first try? Whoops, my bad. I don't play him. There you go. So you could actually fuzzy Piccolo if anyone with a downwards jab like that, right? So he is one of the characters that are affected by snaps pretty heavily because, again, the general goal of snaps is that since they come in from the air, unlike normal knockdowns, since when you snap a character, they come in from the air, they have much less defensive options coming in from the air like that, that if you... this doesn't knock down. Then if you just, like, knock them down like that. Right? So what ended up happening is that you could safe jump somebody on a snap. You safe jump somebody on a snap somehow, and then you could do some sort of unseeable high-low mix-up right there. And then on top of that, the defender cannot use their assist for 8 seconds, so you get no guard cancel. So your defensive options are extremely limited there. That being said, you kind of have to think about the nuance of what that means of bringing in another character. So, first of all, to start, I think just Snap in general, while it's still definitely good, it's not as strong as it was before. Of course, there's the things like the meter gain penalty, so that when you do, let's say, Hell Zone into however the cool kids are doing it these days, into high-low, like, they can't necessarily loop it the same way. They still have ways that they could cycle snaps, but not necessarily Hell Zone unless they have a lot of meter. So basically what you're saying, you're snap looping somebody, your real goal for snap looping now is that you're trying to just get enough meter that you get a character in, you mix them up, and then kill them off that mix-up. Like, you dump all your resources off that mix-up. But that also means that you're basically saying that if you're starting from 0 bars, you would have to get several successful mix-ups in a row, because you have to consider that when you and let me turn on the health bars to not quit to. This is how I usually have my training mode and no recovery. You have to consider that. Do I still have these actually? It's been a while since I played Piccolo. Nice. So during this time, right? During all this time, they're getting that blue life back. So you're not doing the actual damage that you're doing. You're actually doing less damage. Because they're regaining life back. So you'd have to do several mix-ups successfully in a row. If they're a lower level player, it's pretty likely you'll hit them. But at high level, you're not going to get like 4 or 5 consecutive mix-ups in a row successful every single time. They're called 50-50s for a reason. It's bad, like you can't defend, like you have to guess. But there are times where they're going to guess. So, outside of people who have really strong snaps and that as their core point, like Piccolo, like Majin Buu, like Gotenks, generally you're using snap to target one character. Like, you want to bring in a character that you want to kill. So this is a common thing. You bring in Yamcha, you do your thing, right? You do your mix-up. And then you knock them down. You aim to kill that character. That's what you see way more now at high level. The only time you actually see high level players cycle snap, if they don't play like a Piccolo team or something, is if the opponent is playing multiple tall characters. Because then you can make up for the lack of damage by using an assist on those combos. And let me pick what would be a good example here. Let's do cell and 0.16, I guess. Let's do 0.16. So you could do more damage because you would save one assist, right? Your goal would be to save one assist and use your other assist for the combo, and then solo snap with whoever you want to loop the tall characters. So that is pretty viable, but it's pretty uncommon that people are running multiple tall characters like this. Usually people just run one maybe. So it's not that likely that you'll have, let's say, this type of scenario where you do something like this. Okay, breaking cell. Okay, I did it. Okay. So this type of scenario is not that common. If you look at a lot of like common tournament teams, you'd have like your Kibu Bardock, Bardock GT, Bardock SSJ. You would have like those type of combinations. You don't really see tall characters that often. You usually see one. And in today's game, I would say it would be, you would see Cell sometimes. You would definitely see 21. You might run into Broly. You might run into Zamasu. You'll probably run into Vegito. But you won't run into multiple of those characters on that team. Even looking at someone like Piccolo, right? Piccolo is the only one you could target on that Piccolo Bardock SSJ Goku team, and he's on point in the first place. So, if you're wondering, like, is there a snap meta right now? Not really. Like, people's goal is not to just snap you to death, and you have to pay attention to what's winning right now. So, what's winning right now is like strong neutral, strong to extreme mix on your point characters, but people have their snap mix-ups built out because you kind of have to. It is definitely the most advantageous situation in the game, but when they snap, it's just to get blue life from the opponent or aim for a character they really want to kill, like a tall character or like, let's say, someone's specialty character. So, for example, here's an example of a specialty character, right? So, take my main team. So, yeah, Bardock, Trunks, Yamcha. So, Bardock, Trunks, Yamcha. Most people who snap a character on my team, they will snap in Yamcha. But people who've played me more, they will actually snap in Trunks over Yamcha because they realize, like, Trunks is a core part of that team. Same goes for this team, the Piccolo, Bardock, SSJ Goku. You might consider snapping in SSJ Goku and just trying to get rid of him so that now, like Piccolo with Bardock assist, not that scary. Bardock with Piccolo assist, pretty scary. Like, you do have like this, of course, the classic, this, but the reverse is not as scary at all, right? Just keep that in mind. Most people at higher levels right now, if they're not playing a snap team, the snap usage is very focused. And as a last point, I kind of get why, especially if you started with Dragon Ball, like if Dragon Ball is your first fighting game, I definitely get why you don't like getting snapped over and over, because you feel like you can't do anything. And I don't know if this is like FGC boomer shit or not, but Dragon Ball, if anything, Dragon Ball has a lot of options. On knockdown. Even on your slide knockdown, you have a lot of ways where you could vary your tech and stuff, and it's kind of hard to cover everything. But that snap situation, like some games that people talk about in like super high regards, like Guilty Gear, which, side note, I will be making more Guilty Gear videos. A game like Guilty Gear, when you knock down, if you're a Dragon Ball player, you might as well just think of that as snap. You just get up, you can't change your tech timing. The only difference is whether or not they knocked you down face up or face down, right? You may or may not have a lot of defensive options, like you may or may not have a DP, you may or may not have muted to parry. You kind of just have to take what they're going to give you. And a lot of characters in that game, their whole goal is just knock you down, just go until you die, right? That's just what some other fighting games are like. So if this is your first game and you really hate snap, you should appreciate Dragon Ball a little bit more because they help you a lot when you get knocked down. This game has a lot of defensive options on knockdown. You could delay your tech, you could tech off the ground, which I've never seen in a game ever. You could tech in place, backflip, lay on the ground, and change your timing by like 30 frames. You can do a ton of stuff. So I get it if you hate Snap because you feel like you can't do anything, but it's not that. It's like bad. It is bad, but from my perspective, it's like a more standard fighting game situation. Kind of like level 3 a little bit, except you can't reflect. And never forget that you still have block, stun, spark. Worst comes to worst. Do not forget that even then, you still have one of these, right? You still have one of those. So it's all good. So to sum it up, I don't really think Snap meta is a thing right now. It's just a tactic that exists. A lot of the plans that the winning teams have right now is honestly to kind of just win the 3v3 and then explode your second character, like kill your second character as fast as possible, and then try to make it a 3-1 situation or a 2-1 situation. Not that many teams are going for let me build meter from Snap to kill one character anymore. And even in the case of the Piccolo, Bardock, SSJ, Goku, if you remember the World Tour Grand Finals, Goichi would do like just one mix-up. He would do the high-low, he did this, or, I still have him spark. Whoops. He would do his high-low with either jump medium or a 2M, and he'd hit that 2M, he'd pop the spark immediately and just kill character to make it 3-2. So, don't worry. The game is not as Snap-heavy as you think. Snap, if anything, just consider it like something similar-ish to level 3. Similar-ish. Not exactly the same, but similar-ish. If you play big characters, I'm sorry, that sucks. I'm sorry, that sucks. Technically, everybody can be fuzzied off snaps. Anyway, it's just that big characters get fuzzied the easiest, so I get it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about Snap or whatever in the comments. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I will see you next time. Peace out.